Alright, what's up, Transformers fans? Tonight, I've got a bit of a special thing for you. Now, when we're collecting maintenance of our figures or tweaking our figures or whatever, it's going to be part of the game. Now, I know a lot of you are saying that you shouldn't have to maintain your figures, you shouldn't have to tweak, you shouldn't have to do this, that, and the other, and you're not necessarily wrong, but maintenance is a part of collecting. It just is. It always has been, it always will be. Even if you have that perfect figure, eventually it's going to wear out just because plastic wears out over time. It happens. So today I'm going to be talking about a couple of tools that I use to maintain my figures. And the first one that I'm going to get out of the way is yellowing. It's very nasty. Makes your figure look very unsightly, very unnatural. However, the fix for this is there's several things that you can do. You can leave it in sunlight, you can use some chemical to do it, but me, I just go for a straightforward approach and I paint it. I repaint the yellow plastic that has yellowed. And for that, I use these paint pens. Now you can find these at Michael's, you can find these at most art stores, but I take a paint pen and I will go over the plastic that has yellowed a couple of times. And there you go. You can see that it gets that color back. Looks very good. And I mean, I'm not the world's best artist at this kind of thing, so you don't really have to be Picasso, you know, and I've made that comment about I'm not Picasso on several of my custom videos. And I mean, just there you go, you know, and it's a little rough at first, but you'll go over it, you'll let that layer dry, then you'll go over it again, and, you know, you just keep going over it until it looks all smooth and nice, and there you go. Now, the camera is actually being very kind to that, but I still need to go over that several more times before it is finished. So, but you can see what I'm talking about right there. And color matching is going to be pretty difficult. Now, like I said, the camera's being very kind, so the color matches fairly well on the camera, but in person you can see the differences just slightly. So you do have to watch your color matchings, and I need to go over this one a couple more times. Fortunately, this color, this yellow, is actually pretty close to Bumblebee, so that's good. So there you go. But you go over it, you take care of that, and there you are. I also did the same thing on my Cyberverse Prowl, because you guys know this guy yellows pretty bad. You can see right here how the shoulder has gone from that was like a gray color, now it's all dull. And then these were white, and they got really yellowed and nasty looking, so I went over it with a paint pen, and it's looking really good now. It's giving him his color back. So, and you can see the parts of him that I haven't done. You can see those yellow pieces there. But that color is what those feet used to look like, and you can see them now that I went over with these paint pens, and it looks really good. And the thighs are the same way, and the chest is the same way. So you can do that. Now, when you're painting them, you can go over it with this. This is a Tamiya, am I saying that right? Yeah. This is the Tamiya paints. They're pretty close to the original colors of the Transformers. Now this is a, what do you call it? Base coat. You put this on first and it's your base coat. Primer. There it is. That's the word I'm looking for. Primer. You go over it, you put it on, and there you go. So you can use these, and they come in various colors. Right there, that's another one. And you'll know it's the right brand because it has that star on it right there. It has those two. It's really good. They match the colors of the Transformer paints fairly easily. Now, another one, I actually did make a reference to this in one of my other videos, but this is the Testors paint. That's usually used on the model cars. This one is pretty good, but it does have its ups and downs. So Sometimes they don't go on very well. I find that this color is actually more sticky than smooth. But these paints, I've used a lot of these paints before in my models. And with the paint pens, you need to go over quite a few layers before they really take. So you need to be aware of that. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys, because some of you I'm sure already know, but I bet there's a lot of people out there that don't know about this. So let's say you've got a loose ball joint, like you put it on and his arm just flops all over the place. So what you want to do is take some clear nail polish and you put that on the ball joint. Now you can let it dry, or you can go ahead and put the joint right back on right after you do that. It's probably better to let it dry, honestly, but with me, I go ahead, put it on the ball socket, and then I put some in the socket itself. And I put the figure back together, like so. And I'll let those two things dry. Now you can do this with most joints if you can get to the joint itself. Like this hinge right here feels a little loose. So, yep, he's got a screw right there. I could probably unscrew that. Yeah, you also need like little small screwdrivers. They have various sets that you can do. So I'll open that up. I'll probably put some clear nail polish on that, screw it back together and let it dry. And then that will tighten up that joint. So there's something you can do with those. There's also another method of doing that, which is you take the ball off, you put some glue on there. Don't put the joints back together right after you put the glue on there. Put the glue on there, let it fully dry. Can't stress that enough. Let the joint fully dry, and then put the joint back on there so that it has that resistance, so that it's got that like almost mud around the original ball joint, so that you can have a nice tight little joint. Now this is Loctite. This is actually very good super glue. You can buy it at auto parts stores. You can buy it at Walmart. This is what I use a lot whenever I have a figure that breaks. I will put some Loctite on there, and it holds up surprisingly well. I've got one that I put Loctite on years ago, and it's still holding up just fine. So those are some of the tools that I use to fix up my figures whenever they've had some problems or break down or deteriorate or whatever it is. And let's get that paint pen back in there, because that's very important. I find the paint pens go quicker, but they also get scratched. So, like I said, the Testors paints, they have their ups and downs, but so do the paint pens. They have their ups and downs too. But paint pens are a lot faster. The Testors, you have to put multiple layers on. The paint pens, you put multiple layers on, but they dry a lot faster. So the Testors paint, you put a layer on there, you let it dry overnight, you put another layer on there, and that can be, it can be a little tedious. So it kind of depends on what you're going to go with and what you're doing. The joints on the Testors, if you put your Testors paints on the joint, they tend to be a little bit harder than what you want. That might even break. So you got to be careful when you're painting joints. And the paint pens on the joints, they're not nearly as detrimental to your figure, but it can scratch the paint. So there's ups and downs of either way. And of course, you guys know that there's plenty of 3D printed model options out there to maintain your figures or replace missing parts or anything like that. So, and I've made multiple videos about my 3D printed parts and whatnot. So there's another option. Excuse me. There's another option right there. But there you go, guys. That is maintenance of your figures. Let me know if you guys want me to make some more videos like this and get a little bit more in depth. Maybe you have a question of, hey, how do I repair this guy who's been broken forever? Well, I might be able to help with that. And one of the things that I love doing is repairing old toys. So let me know if you guys want to have more information about this. So hit that like button. Please like and subscribe. I guess that's it for now. So let me get back to the reviews and I'll see you in the next video.